Yo, what's up guys, this is OrbitsGamingHD here, and I'm just bringing you a little Pharah tutorial. I've been loving Overwatch, and this is my main character at the moment. I'm loving it. I've played over 17 hours with just Pharah, and I'm just getting better and better as I go, really. So I wanted to do this little video to give some people some tips, tricks, stuff that I've kind of found out along the way to help other people, because when I see someone else playing Pharah, I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, on the floor. Do not touch the floor, guys. The floor is lava when you're playing her. So Pharah, she has a rocket launcher as her primary weapon that you're going to be dealing most of your damage with. She has a jump pack that shoots her 20 meters up in the air, and a concussion grenade that is great for knocking people off the edge of the map. You'll see me do this a few times in this gameplay. You want to know these spots on certain parts of the map. Every map has a few knockoff points. You want to know them, especially in the King of the Hill variant. And not forgetting her ultimate, that is a barrage that shoots 30 rockets per second, and each little rocket does 40 damage on a direct hit. This lasts for 3 seconds, but leaves you very vulnerable to being shot at by enemy teammates as you are stationary during this time. Let's go back to her primary weapon. It is a rocket launcher. It has 6 shots before you have to reload, and the reload lasts 1 second. So you can just keep raining down that fire. Each rocket does 120 damage per direct hit. That obviously goes down for the splash, but her splash damage is quite big, I'm not going to lie. So you should, if you get a direct hit and follow up with a couple more shots, you can normally take at least one hero out with one clip. Saying this, it does have a travel time of about 20 meters per second, so at long distances you really do have to lead your shots, and it gets quite hard. But because her rockets travel straight, she can be quite handy for taking out bastions that are in sentry mode. But you have to be careful because bastions will tear you up. So I recommend wall picking, where you step out, take a shot, step back in. You can normally get 3 off very quickly, which is enough to kill a bastion and any hero with 360 health or less. So that's pretty much all the squishies. So now let's talk about her jump jet and her hover ability. I feel like a lot of people don't use this to the full extent that it can be. You can pretty much stay off the ground for the whole game. Because of her splash damage with her rocket, you want to keep yourself up in the air and make it an easier target for yourself. If you're on the same level, it's a lot harder for you to hit them because the bullet can easily fly past them, as I normally do if I'm down low, so it's much better to stay up in the air. One of the tactics I use is, once I've got myself positioned on the high ground, I won't use my jump jet until I need to get back up there. So what I'll do is I'll jump off, I'll hover around, shoot my rockets, and then jump jet back up to the high ground. This has another effect of keeping you out of harm's reach, because you are quite squishy with 200 health and you're a big target in the air. You can't move that quickly unless you get used to using your concussion grenade. And you've just got to think you're a sitting duck when you're on the floor. You need to be up above people. It makes the world of difference that the floor is lava. So now let's talk about this concussion grenade. It's by far one of the most useful tools in her arsenal. What you can do is you can use it for a multiple of things. First thing I want to tell you about is get the hell away from me. Anyone who comes near you that's getting too much in your face, you can just use it to get the hell away. Literally just to get you a few seconds to reset, and this combined by either using your jump pack or your hover can get you surprisingly far away from an enemy, because even if your jump pack is on cooldown, you can use it combined with your hover that will move you away very quickly in a horizontal fashion. The concussion grenade can be also great for knocking people off the edge of the map, as I did just then. You saw how far Roadhog went. He had full health, I just got 100 off him. Can be so good. There are some really good spots on this map. That is one of them, on that bridge. I do it again later on, and you should always be waiting for them to respawn and knock them off if you're Pharah on this map. It's great for beginning a round because you can literally, as soon as you come out of spawn, jump pack up and shoot your concussion grenade over. You can normally get 1 or 2 kills. I haven't managed to get more than a triple, but I'm hoping to get a 5-man soon. So by combining all of this, jumping up with your jetpack, hovering down and using to your concussion, either to knock people off the edge of the map, get them away from you, or just to move quicker, because if you shoot at a wall it will push you away at quite a fair distance. You can be quite nimble on the battlefield. So let's talk about her ultimate, her rocket barrage. It can be devastating, especially when paired with Zara's Graviton Surge, Mei's Freezing and Reinhardt's Earth Shatter, but it does leave you very vulnerable because you're stationary and you can only aim at 180 degrees and the spread is massive. So what I like to do is treat it like a shotgun. A lot of tutorials I've seen tell you to jump back straight up in the air then use it. I tend to actually get as close as I can to the group of enemies because then you can do the most amount of damage in a short period of time. Because the rockets have a fairly slow travel time, you're just a sitting duck if you're too high up. I prefer getting in close, shooting a load and getting out of there like all good guys do. So now let's talk about matchups. People you're going to have easy time against are Junkrats, Reinhardts, Mei's, anyone who doesn't have long distance projectiles really. Reaper you can destroy, even though he has a bit more health. He literally has no reason to damage you. Diva can be a bit of an issue, but you literally, all you have to do is she comes at you, concussion grenade away, and you've got the range. You have so much range, use it, and keep firing those rockets. Needless to say, always aim for Mercy, because she's very important to the other team, always healing. If you take her out, you're going to make your life a hell of a lot easier, so always focus Mercy. The heroes that you want to watch out for are Roadhog, Widowmaker, Hanzo, and Soldier 76. These can all be a pain, especially Roadhog with his grapple. He'll pull you in and kill you instantly pretty much, and if he makes it his job to take you out, you're going to have a hard time. Same with Widowmaker. She can snipe you out of the air very easily, or use her machine gun if you get slightly closer to her. There's kind of a sweet spot where you can actually take out Widowmakers fairly successfully. 3 shots because she's quite squishy, and they normally stand still, they're normally hard aiming you so you can wall peek them. Soldier 76 will just keep shooting at you and he can melt you very quickly if they make it their job to actually take you out of the sky. That is the biggest threat. If they don't bother with you, if they don't actually attend to you, you can be devastating. Otherwise, you have to prioritize your targets. Widowmakers and Soldier 76s first, Roadhog, keep your distance and you'll be fine. Just keep in mind that that hook will kill you. So when you're playing against other Pharahs, it really comes down to the better skill. So the more you practice, the better you lead your shots. I would always take on another Pharah and make it my prime priority to take her out. I do this by taking the high ground, keep using my thruster pack, just keep getting above her. It's like a helicopter fight in Battlefield. You just want to always be above the other player because then you can shoot down from above. Aim if they're trying to land somewhere, aim where they're going to land and you shouldn't have any issues. Always prioritize other Pharahs because if you leave them, they'll come after you. Pharah can be played either on attack or defense. I feel like on defend, you want to be playing quite deep in the enemy lines. You want to be over the other side on Hanamura, jumping up, causing a nuisance. On the choke points, you want to be over the other side, using your mobility and just reining in because they won't be focusing on you, they'll be focusing on other teammates. So I really like Pharah. I really hope this has helped someone if you watch this. And just enjoy the video, it's some sweet gameplay. This has been Orbit AE coming in your ears.